As we kick off today's program, I'd like to introduce Dr. Stephanie Myers, National Co-Chair of Black Women for Positive Change and Director of the Week of Positive Change, Nonviolence and Opportunities. Dr. Myers.
Thank you, Marcus, and thank you, Dawn. And thanks to all of you for coming out this afternoon to be a part of the 8th Annual Week of Positive Change, Nonviolence, and Opportunities. We also call it the Week of Nonviolence for short. We know you're here today when you could be out doing other things, having fun, shopping, going to the movies, instead of being here to discuss this painful and difficult subject, the subject of violence in our community. And we know that this violence is happening all over the country, all over the world, and it's affecting our children, our families, our cities, our nation. And daily and hourly, we are all traumatized by looking at the news and hearing it on the radio about this violence, and we've got to find a way to stop it. Today's event is called Violence is Not Normal. And I'm very proud that the idea of today's event was put together by our Millennial Committee, because we believe in an intergenerational approach to these issues. So when you see Dawn and Marcus, you see our Millennial Committee represented. And it was their idea to really come up with Violence is Not Normal. I'm also very, very appreciative of the panelists being here. Thank you so much for joining us. You've come from all over the area, Virginia, Maryland, and D.C., and we even have Susan Breaux and her husband who came up from Charlottesville to be with us today, so we really appreciate your commitment. Here in the District of Columbia, we are constantly hearing about violence among our youth. We know domestic violence is going on in families. We're very, very traumatized to hear about teenagers even increasing the rate of suicide. And then there's ongoing violence on the metro buses and on the trains and just all over the place. And we're very, very proud that Chief Newsham is here with us, and the Chief has really been responsive. Thank you. He was with us a few months ago up on the Hill when we were talking with the Congress about de-escalation of violence legislation, and that's what we need out of law enforcement. Because, Chief, you know like we know, there's some crazy things going on around the country, and we have to really push harder to make sure that our law enforcement officers get a higher standard of training and a higher level of understanding and implicit bias. So we thank you for being here. Today, panelists and audience, we are asking you to think of solutions. We're not just here to rehash the same old stuff. You all know the problems like we know them. And we know that our beloved country, unfortunately, is not a stranger to violence. We know what happened to the Native Americans with genocide. We know what happened with slavery. We know what happened to poor indentured white folks when they first got here. So we know we have to find new ways to eradicate this. And we're very proud of the endorsements that Dawn mentioned from the members of Congress and governors, and we'll be working hard on that. Eric Holder is the honorary chair of the National Positive Change, Nonviolence, and Opportunities Week. Congresswoman Gwen Moore and Congresswoman Maxine Waters are the vice chairs. And we extend a special thanks to Michael Peters over here in the audience, who's the CEO of Trusted Inc. and our major sponsor today. We also appreciate the Saint and Street Fighter Foundation. I don't know if there's a representative here. And our partners, the 100 Fathers, Frank Malone, Moms Demand Action. We have a good brother here in a Moms Demand Action shirt. We appreciate your participation. We're just thrilled to have the young people here from the Archbishop Carroll High School, Jim Vance Media Program. The Jewish Community Relations Council is an endorsement, Mazid Mohammed Mosque, and the Southern Christian Leadership Council. And of course, our family means everything, and I'm very proud and thankful and grateful to my husband, Roy Myers, who's a top supporter of this organization. We appreciate your support, and to all of our good brothers. And a special shout out to our producer today, Dr. Cherie Ward, our project coordinator and producer. She's probably out there in the hall working on it. So now let's move on with this program and remember that today we are here for ideas and solutions, not just to rehash the problems of centuries of violence. We must help people realize that regardless of what the young people are saying, violence is not normal. And yesterday some kids at Anacostia High School said they think it is normal. Wrong. It's not normal. So thank you for being here, and that is our mission today and every day. Thank you.